Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anissa, and in today's video we are going to unhaul around 30 books. So I had a really good look at the books that I have on my shelves. I had a serious talk with myself if I'm going to read these books or not, or there are some books in here that I am going to be unhauling because I didn't like them, I didn't enjoy them, so I don't want to waste the space where I could use the space to put some of the books that I really like or that I'm really excited to get to. Disclaimer: there are going to be a lot of thriller books because when I start getting back into reading 3 years ago, I started reading thriller books and they were my main genres. That was the only thing that I was reading at the time. And right now, and I keep saying this, I feel like I really discovered my reading taste, the books that I enjoy, the books that I know I'm going to think about even in, like, let's say 10 years time. So I just want to make some space and I want to make sure that the books that are on my shelves are the books that I really enjoy, or like I said, I really want to get to. I just also want to say that in February it is my birthday, right at the beginning of the month, and obviously I am going to do a book haul. I am going to go book shopping. I have many books pre-ordered that I'm really excited to obviously open with you guys, so that is the reason I am going to get rid of some of these books. Okay, so let's get started. I feel like I've been yapping a lot. I'm just going to pull them really randomly. I'm not going to go into too many details about these books because I either didn't enjoy them or I didn't read them, but I'm going to be honest and I'm going to try and give as much information as I can also remember, because some of these books I read like 3 years ago, and so obviously I don't remember much about them, especially because I didn't enjoy them. I feel like I'm going in circles right now. You guys know what I mean. I'm just going to get started, okay? So book number one that we are unhauling in this book unhauling video, it is The Cloisters by Katie Hayes, and I have not read this book. I honestly bought this book, I think the minute it got published. If it was published the day that I bought this book, let's see, 2022. So I bought this book in 2022 and I still have not read it, and I'm not going to pick this book up. I also gave this book to my cousin and she has tried to read it and she didn't really enjoy it. She DNF'd it at about like 20% mark. So I don't know what this book is about. I really like the cover and I still like the cover. Like, I don't know if you can see this cover, it is gorgeous. I do think it is a thriller book, and like I said, I'm not enjoying thrillers anymore, not as much. There are many thriller books that are really good that are on Kindle Unlimited, which I have, which I am paying for. So this book, it is going, I am going to get rid of it. I do want to say though that there are still books on my shelves that I am not going to pick up, or I feel like I'm not going to pick them up in the immediate future. I don't have a desire to read that book just yet, but I just don't want to get rid of them yet because obviously I bought them and I'm going to try and make myself at least give them a go, and we'll find out later if I'm going to keep them or not. But there are for sure some books on my bookshelves that I don't either enjoy as much, that are average, or that I don't think I'm going to pick up, but I'm still going to give them a go, or at least try to give them a go. I don't know, I just can't part with them just yet. I need a bit more time, and I don't feel like I'm the only person that does that. I am sure that if you are a book lover, you understand my pain. I just bought them because they were either really hyped up or because I do have a book buying problem, and now because my reading taste has changed, I'm not going to pick them up. But like I said, I'm going to try in 2026, give them a go. If I either don't read them by the end of the year, or if I don't enjoy them, I'm actually going to unhaul all of them. I think that's, if I'm putting that out there, I think I'm going to actually keep myself accountable when it comes to this, because there are so many more books that I know I'm not going to get to, but I just I can't get rid of them just yet. I need a bit more time. But okay, I feel like I've been yapping so much. This is the first book that we are unhauling. Next we have The Botanist by M.W. Craven. I think this book, it is a thriller book. I'm sure it is a thriller book, but I think it is part of a really long series. And apparently you can read it as a standalone, but I know it is part of a series, and I think it's like the 12th book in this series. I am not sure, I didn't do my research, but because I know it is part of a series, I can't read it as a standalone. In my brain, I already know that it won't make any sense, so I'm not even going to give it a go. Like I said, I'm not excited to pick this book up, so again, I'm getting rid of this. Next, we have The Babysitter by Emma Curtis. I remember reading this book ages ago, like 3 years ago maybe, and I remember this book being really predictable. And I do remember I finished this book in one day, so it was bingeable, obviously, but it was predictable, and I give it 3 stars. Local Girl Missing by Claire Douglas. I read this book this month, a few days ago, and again, predictable for me, and I gave it 3 stars. It was average. It is not my favorite thriller book ever, so I'm just going to unhaul it, and maybe somebody else will love it more than I do. But I'm going to rapid fire through these books because, like I said, there are a lot of thriller books, and I feel like I've read these type of books so much for such a long period of time that I already know. I already know what's going to happen in every single one of them, and I would be really surprised if there is a thriller book that will actually shock me and I won't predict. And that's not to say that, I don't know, I'm not big-headed in thinking that I'm like smarter or anything like that, but to me it was just really predictable. And if I'm reading a thriller book, I would like to be shocked and I would like to be scared, and they didn't scare me. So I'm going to quickly get over these books. Shared Remains by Rachel Lynch. I think that's how you say her name. I apologize if I don't say it right. Never picked it up. Brand new. I just bought it really randomly, and I am not keen on picking this book up, unfortunately. Another unpopular opinion. This is Holly by Stephen King, and I have not read this book. However, I have tried to read Misery by him 3 different times in 3 different formats, and I just DNF'd it. I could not get through it for some reason. Everything about that book really agitated me. I couldn't get through it. I just got really annoyed by everyone. So I am not going to pick this book up. That's not to say I'm not going to read any books by him, but it just doesn't appeal to me, so I'm just going to give it to somebody else that might love it. Seven Summers by Paige Tone. I read this book, I gave it 3 stars. I quite enjoyed it at the time, but I do not think about this book. I don't think about the characters. It was average to me, but I really enjoyed it at the time that I read it. And I would still say that you guys should give it a go. It is a really good summary book. It is really bingeable. I feel like it is one of those books that you take on vacation and you just enjoy your time, but once the vacation is done, once you are back home, you are not going to be really keen to like have it on display, if that makes any sense. So that's how I felt about this book. At least I know there are some people that really love it. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. In Mini, another thriller book that apparently I have read in 2025, and I do not remember reading this book. I truly don't remember the day that I picked this book up, and apparently I read it, but I did rate it on Goodreads. I did a really good job in 2025 to keep tracks of the books that I am reading and keep it up to date, if that makes any sense. And apparently I read this book and I don't remember, so I don't want to keep it on my bookshelves if I don't even remember reading it. Like, I don't have any recollection and I don't have any emotions connected to this book, so I'm just going to, like I keep saying, I'm going to give it to somebody else that might love it. This is funny. This is by the same author, and this is Eye for an Eye. My mom has read this and she really loved it, and I have tried to read this. I think I've read like the first 5 pages and then I put it down. I just wasn't in the mood for it. And since then, I don't feel the need to pick it up. But if you guys think that I should read any of these books, then do let me know and I might give them a second chance, or at least I'll try to think about giving them a second chance. But yeah, do let me know if you have read these books and you feel like they're really, really good and I should also read them. And I might even do a reading vlog with the books that you think I should save. The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. He is the writer that wrote The Silent Patient that everyone went crazy over, and rightfully so. I really enjoyed that book. Again, it is one of the first thriller books that I have read when I go back into reading, so that book does have a special place in my heart. Like, I remember reading it, I remember falling in love with reading again when I read that book, so I'm not going to unhaul it. But this one, I read it, I think last year, no, last year, the year before that, in 2024, and I had really high expectations, and the book wasn't bad by any means. I just didn't love it as much as The Silent Patient, and I do think that is a me problem. But like I said, I don't want to keep books on my bookshelves that I either didn't love, or that I'm not connected to, or that I know I'm not going to read. So I just have to unfortunately get rid of this. But like I said, it is not a bad book by any means. Like, I have seen many people that enjoyed this book, and I think it is a really good book. And it does have this sort of dark academia type of settings and vibes, because we are following like this student and there's a murder and we need to investigate it, and it is good. But again, like I said, for me it was just average. Okay guys, unpopular opinion. I don't know if you guys have read this book, The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. I have read this book, I think, in either November or December. I think I gave this book a 2 stars or a 2.5 or even lower. Anyways, the story is that I did not like this book. It really annoyed me. I was listening to the audiobook of this and I was honestly saying out loud, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I just cannot believe that some of these things actually happen in this book. And as a Abby Jimenez lover, it breaks my heart to say that I don't love this book, because I love her books. I have read the Part of Your World trilogy, and yours truly is one of the best books of all times. Honestly, I feel like it exceeded everyone's expectations. I adore that book. And this one really aggravated me. This book, this FMC, I can't even speak. This FMC is the most annoying FMC I have ever read. She is such a two-faced person, but with herself. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'm really passionate with how much I dislike this book, and there are a couple of more books that I feel the same feelings towards them. But this book in particular, it is really annoying. The FMC, she just is infuriating to read. I couldn't connect to her. I couldn't understand her decisions. I couldn't understand why she is the way she is. She's basically like, why are you lying to me? I don't like lies. I don't want people around me that lie to me. And she is literally doing the same thing. The same thing that she said she hates and she doesn't want and she doesn't like, she's doing it herself to the people that she is getting angry at. How can you be like this? I got really annoyed. I didn't like this book. I'm just going to unhaul it, and I am really sorry that I didn't like it, because again, Abby Jimenez, I love her. She is amazing. Her books are amazing, but just not this one. Just not this book. Every single one of her other books are amazing, but this one, no. The Coming Storm by Craig Moss. I have not read this book. I have no clue what this book is about. It is brand new. Most of them are, and I have not read it yet, and I bought it, I think, the year it came out as well. So I bought this in 2024, but yes, I am not going to read it. I don't have any desire to pick this book up, so I'm not going to, obviously. Sweet Little Lies by Kavin Nordin. I read this book last year. I gave it 3 stars. Like I said, really predictable. Nothing really happened, and the plot twist that we did get was anticlimactic, to say the least. I haven't enjoyed it. I'm not going to recommend it, so I am getting rid of it. Up next, we have Lie or Die by AJ Clark. And again, this cover, I think it is really, really cool. I don't know if you can see like the colors, but I feel like it is a really, really cool cover. When I read the blurb of this book when I bought it, it sounded really, really interesting, but right now it's not interesting to me anymore. Next we have The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I read this book and I feel like I literally read like the first 2 pages of this book and I put it down, and I just wasn't in the mood, and I was planning on picking this book back up, but then I looked up some reviews and everyone says that this book, it is just 90% spice and 10% plot or storyline, and I do not enjoy these books. They're not for me, and I wish I could because this cover is so cute, but I don't feel like I'm going to enjoy this book, and I don't want to read it just to have it done. I want to read books that I know I'm going to enjoy or that are going to make me feel something, and this book, apart from spice, it is nothing else. And it is a great book if you are in the mood just for spice, but I find spice in books really cringy. I don't like reading about it. I don't mind it, but most of the times it is really cringy, so I'm not going to even try because I know it is just not the type of book that I would enjoy. Up next, we have The Luminaries. We have book 1 and then book 2, which is called The Hunting Moon. And I have read these books in 2023 and I remember enjoying it. I remember I was confused at some points, but I gave them 3 stars, I think both of them. And I feel like there's one more book to complete this series, but I'm not going to. I am not interested enough. I didn't love them enough to keep going, so I'm not going to go out and buy the next one because I know it is not the type of book that I would be enjoying right now. But the covers, again, I keep saying the covers are really, really nice. Look at those. I also think they are YA books. I might be wrong, but I have a feeling. I think I remember reading them, and main characters were like 13, 14, around that age. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys have read these. I have not seen people talking about these books at all. Nothing to See Here by Susan Lewis. This is a thriller book, and I have DNF'd it, and I feel like it is set in the UK, and we had British narrators because I did try to give this book a go as an audiobook, and I love it. I don't mind British narrators as long as it is not cringy to me, then I'm going to read and listen to whatever. Do you know when they are trying too hard to be British or use the British slang or the British words and it is used so much? It got to the point where it was like, okay, but not every single person from the UK speaks like this. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't vibe with it, and I didn't like where the storyline was going, so I have DNF'd it. Next, we have The Secret Beach by Veronica Henry, and I haven't read this book. I love the cover, but I feel like it has some magical realism in it. I am not 100% sure, but again, I don't feel the need to go and pick this book up, so I am going to give this book away to somebody that might actually love it. Close Protection by Eden Victoria. I don't know if you guys have watched any of my other videos, but if you did, then you know. If you didn't, then I will tell you. This book, it is the most insufferable book that I have read in 2025. I truly don't understand how I enjoyed this, and I'm not trying to sound really mean, and I am sorry if I'm really mean. If you have enjoyed it, I'm really, really happy for you, and I'm glad you have. I wish I had, I didn't. This book was insufferable, and that's all I'm going to say. Another book that was insufferable and that I have read in a reading vlog, and I have DNF'd, my first DNF of 2026. It is Retrograde by Emily Carter. In my opinion, the MMC was really, really creepy, and the FMC was trying to baby him and mother him, and their dynamics was really, really weird, to say the least. Truly, darkly, deeply this book a thriller book, and again, I have read it ages ago, literally I think in 2022, and I have gave it 5 stars. When I read it, it was one of my favorite books of the year, but I just got back into reading. I was falling in love with reading. So I feel like at that time, any book that I was reading that made me feel any type of way, I was giving it 5 stars. And it is not a bad book by any means. I think it is a great book and it is really underhyped. But again, it is not the one of the books that I would like to keep on my bookshelves. I would like to make more space for the books that I know I'm going to like, or for the special editions of my favorite books of all time. So this unfortunately has to go. The Sanctuary, this book again, it is a DNF. I have tried to give it a go on the audiobook. I got to about the 40% mark and I couldn't do it because I was listening to this book and literally nothing was like sticking. I could not remember a thing of what I just listened in the like split second of me pausing the audiobook. I don't know why it wasn't memorable for me. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't feel like it is the type of book that I would pick up right now. I'm going to try to rapid fire because I said I'm not going to yap and I keep yapping. The next book that I'm going to be unhauling, it is That Night by Gillian McAllister. She wrote one of my favorite books of all times, one of my favorite thrillers ever, and I would highly recommend it. The book that she wrote that I am obsessed with, it is called Wrong Place, Wrong Time. Absolutely adore that book. I would highly recommend it. Even if you don't like thriller books, the plot twist of that book, it is amazing. I don't know how she came up with that. I don't know how people came up with this plot twist. Absolutely adore that book. But this one, average book, 3 stars, nothing crazy. It is about a car crash and what happens after the car crash and how that person that committed this accident is dealing with it and everything that comes after it. The last thriller in this book unhauling stack, it is The Last to Disappear, and I have not read this book and I'm not going to, so I'm going to get rid of it. Next, I have 2 books by Lynn Painter. The first one, it is Better Than the Movies, and then Betting on You. And I know how much everyone loves Lynn Painter and I love her myself. I gave these books 4 stars, like they were really good books. But they are really childish and they are YA, and I don't see myself picking these books up ever again. I don't like these childish type of romance books anymore. I like something that has a bit of a more connection and story, and I like more of the heavy type of books when it comes to my romances. Don't get me wrong, I like my rom-coms and my silly goofy books, but again, I don't see myself ever picking these books up, and I feel like I can read them on Kindle Unlimited if I really want to, but I don't want to keep them on my bookshelves any longer. Okay, I need to read the title of this book because I just cannot say it out loud. This book, it is The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Laurie Gilmore, and this is such a book talk book. Everyone loves this book, everyone adores this book. And I know that if I was to give it a go, I would probably enjoy it. But again, I don't feel like I would take anything from this book. And I have so many other silly, goofy, hee hee ha ha books on my bookshelves that I'm really keen to get to. And this is not one of them. And again, it is on Kindle Unlimited, I believe. And I can pick it up on there. It is not such a big deal. And I just don't want to keep books on my bookshelves just to have more books. Okay, the last 2 books that I am going to unhaul in today's video, they are really loved, and I feel like it is such an unpopular opinion and I'm kind of scared to say anything about these books because everyone adores them and everyone loves them, and I am just scared to say anything, but I guess I am here now and I have to. We have the Six of Crows duology. Everyone loves these books. Like I said, everyone adores them. It is one of their favorite book series of all times. And I am scared to say that I wasn't one of them. I have DNF'd Six of Crows. I think I got around the 58%. of this book and I got really done with it. I was really bored. The characters, the main thing that really annoyed me, it is the fact that the characters didn't act their age. They were barely 18 and they were behaving as if they were 25, 28. And that's not to say that there are no books, let's say, that I didn't enjoy where the characters acted more mature than they were. But in this setting, I just couldn't get over the fact of how they behave and their dynamics. And I was really confused because I have not read the trilogy previous to this duology, and I know people say that it is best too, but if you don't have them or if you don't want to read them, you don't need to read the trilogy before this, that you will be able to understand it on its own. And I couldn't. I was really confused. I don't know what was going on. I don't know why the world building is the way it is. Well, not the world building, but the world itself. And I just decided to DNF it. I know it is a really unpopular opinion, but I'm just honest, you know. I did not enjoy these books. I don't understand the hype, but it is a me problem because obviously the books are good because so many people love it. So the hype is there and I understand it, and I can see why this group of people, the fat family aspect, the heist of it all, I can really understand. But like I said, I just don't think these books are for me. That's all. I'm just going to unhaul it and be done with it. But it is really scary to put it out there because I know how loved these books are. So this is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have watched until the end, leave me the rose emoji. I don't know why. It is just the first one that popped into my head. So please leave me that emoji and please tell me if I should read any of these books, if I should give them a second chance, and I'm going to do a reading vlog with those books. Please let me know if our opinions align. Like, I am really curious to see if you have unhauled any of these books or if you didn't enjoy any of them. I'd be really curious to see what your thoughts and opinions are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.